Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to Tea and Tarot. Today's reading is all about your June predictions. So we have 3 piles for you today, pile 1, 2, and 3. And instead of crystals, we're actually going to be using flowers. So for pile 1, we have a bunny tail. For pile 2, we have some Ruscus. For pile 3, we have a daisy. Once you have selected your pile, there will be a timestamp in the description box below for you to find your reading more easily, and I will meet you there. Hello my pile ones, so you chose this really cute bunny tail, so let's get straight into your first card, which is all about your love life for June. Okay, so you've got the crow, so straight away I feel like before I pull your oracle card, somebody's probably going to be messaging you. Someone's definitely going to be delivering something to you. Because there's a little envelope here with a letter in it, and then crows are like, messengers of death, but obviously messenger, so it's nothing to do with death, don't worry. But I definitely see somebody reaching out and messaging you. Could be like, a text message. It could be a letter if that's something that maybe you do often, if you like write letters to friends or something and they write letters back to you. But I can see that for your love life for June as you receiving some sort of message. So somebody's going to be reaching out to you. So let's take a look at your oracle card. Okay, you have trust in the invisible, the snail and huckleberry. By the way, sorry if there's any black stains on my hands. I've been doing lino printing today, so yeah, that stuff does not come off, but yeah. So we have trust in the invisible. So this, okay, I was kind of wondering, obviously this is a compass, but it was giving like stopwatch energy. So even though it is a compass, it just like, it made me think of the time. And then you have a snail, which is super duper slow, and trust in the invisible. So this feels like this is a slow burner, like this is a slow relationship. Or maybe it could also be that you're expecting somebody to message you in June. You are kind of thinking, yep, this person is definitely going to reach out to me, that's for sure. And then they don't, and you feel disappointed. And this is kind of saying it's a slow process to sort of getting there. So while you may not receive a message from them this month, that doesn't mean you won't ever. Or if you do receive a message from them, but it's not as direct as you would like it, this is kind of saying it is just going to be slow steps to getting to that sort of romantic place. Like, this person doesn't rush things. They're not going to try and be so forward about their emotions. I think, it's very scary to put yourself out there. So I think this person's they shield themselves a lot. And so, especially with this little shell, it's very fragile, but, so they've got to protect it. But they want to kind of shield their feelings from potential rejection or heartache or, anything like that. So I definitely feel like this person is not going to convey necessarily that they are really, really interested in you or be very direct, because they want to take their time and make sure they know you well enough and they know their own feelings well enough as well. Because it would be the worst for them if they were to say that they had feelings for you and then after spending, time together, changed their mind or felt like you guys were better as friends. So they definitely just want to take their time and get to know you. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for your love life. Somebody reaching out, and also kind of the cards are saying also don't get your hopes up in terms of having something really quickly that's just going to present itself straight away, because that might not happen. Okay, so let's take a look at your general life next. We're only taking the top one because a few fell out there. Okay, so you've got the 2nd of autumn. The 2nd? Why did I say that? Maybe the 2nd of autumn is important to you. I don't know, but that's the 2 of autumn. Okay, so let's get your oracle card. Something in your general life might be kicking off in August. Who knows? Let's see what it could be. Okay, so you've got a butterfly here. So this is giving transformation. And I feel like maybe for some of you, you're kind of leveling up, glowing up, you're sort of improving yourself in every sort of aspect. Sorry if you can hear the rain, there's like a storm here right now, but you're kind of up leveling into, it could be anything. So it can be, you know, your thoughts, your ambitions, it could be maybe your physical appearance or your health or something like that. You're up leveling, you're improving it, and this is going to come into effect around August time, but you're definitely up leveling and transforming in some sort of aspect of your life. I feel like, especially with the Two of Autumn in reverse here, you might be misunderstanding somebody's intentions, or something about the way that you guys interact. Just for some reason it rubs you the wrong way. You aren't getting along with this person, you don't see eye to eye, and you don't sort of see where they're coming from. So you're going to kind of be working on transforming your communication, maybe dealing with some internal prejudice that you maybe didn't realize you had until this sort of conflict arose, working through those sort of things. And then around August time, I see that this connection with whoever it is, it could be a friend, a colleague, a family member, whoever in your life this conflict is with, or this lack of understanding is with, you're going to be transforming yourself and doing that inner work so that by August, at least, you will have a much better relationship with this person. It will be a lot more understanding and mutual, and I feel like there will be more respect there, but also you still might not see eye to eye, but at least you can see where they're coming from. So I see something like that. You working on specifically communicating with somebody. So there's like a little bit of hope there in that relationship. Something's like blossoming between you and somebody else. But initially it starts off rocky and it's not what you expect. And it doesn't go the way you think it's going to go. And you're like, why is this a problem for me? And then you sort of do the inner work to figure out where that's coming from. Maybe this even relates potentially for some of you to your love life, in terms of why do you want it to be fast? Why do you want to rush this? And you're working through that so that by the time August rolls around, you feel a lot more confident and comfortable in your own skin without trying to rush things. Okay. So let's take a look at your career. Ooh, you have the Three of Summer in reverse. Okay. And let's take a look at your oracle card. So each of these cards, they have like a different image. So on the back of the card. So I'm going to keep it on the image side first so you can try and get a feel and resonate with that. It might have like a message for you. Maybe you see something in it that's giving you sort of... It's giving Gemini. It's giving dreams. It's giving dreamy. Okay. So let's take a look. So for career, we've got Three of Summer in reverse, and we also have, when you can't escape life's messiness, look for solace within, in a safe space where you can listen to the quiet and be fully yourself. Do you have a safe space in your mind? If not, now is a great time to create one. Build this world slowly with intention and with guidance from your inner child. Ooh, okay. I feel like the work life in general is just feeling too adulty. You know what I mean? It feels like you're not fulfilling your purpose, your destiny. You just want to feel like you're a kid again, where there's sort of no responsibilities. You can just run around and not know what time it is, what day it is, what you've got to do next, but you're just thinking of like how you're having fun in the moment, you know? And I think it's like about escaping some of that routine and some of the stresses of life as well. So when it says messiness, I'm kind of thinking of like trivial workplace petty squabbles, petty drama. It's also like the routine of getting up at like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. even though you're exhausted. It's like you just need a day or two where you get to sleep in and not care about anything, and then get up and do exactly what you want to do and don't necessarily have a plan, and you're very spontaneous and free and embracing more of that like childlike spirit, because it's talking about your inner child. So listening to what it is you actually want to do in that minute. So that's kind of what I'm getting for you, is you need a little bit of an escape, a little bit of a break, a holiday. So like you know, booking a holiday, booking like annual leave doesn't mean you have to take an actual holiday. You can just stay at home and like pick up those hobbies that you've kind of dropped over the years and things like that. So I feel like the cards are just encouraging you in June to take a bit of a break in your career. Just a little one, maybe a day, maybe two, book some annual leave. And with the free of summer, what I'm kind of getting as well is that in order for you to sort of enjoy your days, find true happiness, true success, and move forward, you need this sort of collaboration between your inner child and who you are now. Like, you can't just ignore it. You have to listen to both parts of you. The part of you that wants to do stuff and just, you know, forget about work and run away. And the part of you that's like, actually, I like going to work though, because I get to catch up with my colleagues, I get to make money so that I can take care of myself and go out on the weekends. So, you know, a part of you, you know, enjoys work and a part of you enjoys not going to work. And both of those versions of yourself can exist at the same time, and they need to kind of like cohabitate, if that makes sense. Collaborate? Was that the word I used? Yeah. They need to collaborate. You need to kind of find a nice, healthy balance between them. And I feel like as well with the three, I'm kind of getting that you need three sort of avenues in your life. So you need like your job, but then you need something that has absolutely nothing to do with making money that just makes you feel good. Maybe it's like a hobby like rock climbing or something. And then you also need like social engagement as well. Like going on walks and talking with your friend or talking with a sibling or something. And you guys just going on daily walks together. Maybe that would be really beneficial to you. But you kind of need like three different types of things to sort of keep you on this track to success, because I feel a lot of success around your career as well. I feel like you are someone who gets along with everybody and is quite bubbly and happy. So that's why a lot of like when you hear petty squabbles or drama at work, it drains you a lot, because that's not your energy. I feel like you're more of a sort of yellow sunshine energy, you know. I feel like you've got that like glowy, happy kindness to you. And so when you hear other people talking through the grapevine, it drains you. You're like, oh, who cares? Like, let's just go run around and do something. Like, you're like, let's leave today. Like, let's get out of here. Finish work at 2. Let's go. Like, I feel like it really gets under your skin, and it makes you want to sort of like be more spontaneous and get out there and just sort of immediately escape your environment. So yeah, you definitely need like 3 sort of things that you can enjoy to create a nice balance in your life. Okay, let's get into your side hustle. If you have one, this question might be of interest to you. This one? No. This one. Okay, the 5 of Winter. And let's get an oracle card for you too on this one. You have the Astronomer, Discovery and Augury in reverse. Okay, so I kind of feel like you have a lot of worry surrounding the success and outcome of your side hustle hobby. Whatever it is you've started, even though you're really talented at it and you're really passionate about it and you have so much hope for it, for whatever reason, the way that success would show itself for your hobby, whether that's getting a lot of orders or sales or something, or a lot of views or subscribers, or maybe an audience or something, whatever it is that sort of conveys success for your side hobby, for whatever reason, you're not getting the numbers that you kind of were hoping for or wanting. So you might not be getting a lot of sales on something that maybe you sell on like Amazon or Etsy or something. And so that's making you worry a lot. You're really worried that this is going to kind of be a fruitless kind of project. You're feeling very unhopeful about the future. But the thing is, the fact that you're so worried, in a sense, is kind of a good thing, because it shows how much you care about this thing. And that's exactly why you shouldn't give up on it. It might just be it might just be like you need to kind of find a new way to approach it. Maybe look at, you know, using SEO optimization if the thing that you do is online, things like that. Maybe it's about, if the thing you do is in person, maybe it's about booking out a lot of venues so that you could play your music, or maybe it's attending a lot of art shows and, you know, market stalls so that you can sell your artwork. It might just be about approaching things differently. And, you know, there's always a possibility that things don't always come to fruition. But if that's something you can't live with, if that's something where you are not going to be satisfied, if that is the outcome, whereby you don't achieve this thing, if you can't accept that, if that's not something you're happy with, then why not keep pursuing it, you know? So this is just talking about your feelings. This isn't what's gonna happen. So you're worried about, you know, losing this thing, losing this side hustle, having it not work out. But those are just your feelings. With discovery here, I feel like this is basically saying, like, everybody is like their own star. Like, you know how, like, people always say shoot for the moon and at least you end up among the stars, something like that. Everyone at the end of the day has their star moment, has that thing in their life that makes them really happy, has something that is important to them that isn't the same for everybody. Like, what's important to one person isn't as important to the other person, but they all achieve their own important thing, so they're all their own individual stars. So this is kind of saying, like, even if you don't land on the moon, you're still going to get the thing that makes you happy. You're still going to get the thing that works out right for you. And if this is something that's really important to you, it's just like approaching it differently, approaching it in a new way. If the way you're currently doing it isn't reaping results. But sometimes that's also just the way things go. And it's about accepting that and having that kind of acceptance for yourself at the end of the day as well. Okay, so now we are going to move into the second to last part of your reading, where you can ask any 3 questions you like about anything pertaining to the month of June, about what's going to happen in June, maybe, but it has to be a yes or no question. But it can be like, is this going to happen in June, or is this the thing that was being talked about in this reading? You can ask questions like that. Think of your 3 questions, and I'm going to pull the cards and read them out one by one. So I'm going to answer question 1, then 2, then 3. Okay? You can ask them in your head or out loud. What is the answer to pile 1's first question? You have go, the time is right. Okay. For pile 1, question 2. You're going in the right direction. Yes, for some reason your career pile popped into my head. And then for the answer to question 3 for pile 1, please. Let go. So let go of something. Okay, so let's move on to the last part of your reading. So I'm going to take these. That's really beautiful. I love that. Okay, so let's get into your last part. Basically, the last part is we're going to be looking into any relevant angel numbers for the month of June that might be coming up for you that could signal, you know, or now's the good time for this. So, you know, when it said the time is right, maybe if you see this number, that's also saying the time is right, you know? So let's take a look at your important angel number for the month of June. And we'll also look up... why does it always roll off camera? Okay, you've got the number 8. We'll also look up what the number 8 as an angel number means as well. I've got it written down in a little grimoire somewhere, which I did not preemptively grab, which is on me. That's my fault. Gotta get up now. Okay, I grabbed it. This is like a book I got from Waterstones, but I love the way the writing comes out on the page. So I'm using it as my second grimoire. I've actually got 4 though. Okay, so release your fears and conquer your weaknesses to avoid being taught old lessons. Wow, that's so lovely. That's amazing. This really encapsulates what I was trying to say but wasn't very good at articulating in the last part of your reading. Is, you know, release those worries, like, because they're kind of holding you back. and, you know, work on the things that might be sort of like not working for now, and try and change it so that you're not stuck in the same situation next month and the following month. Instead, you constantly revamp your approach to your side hustle or to certain things in your life, and work on it and continue to grow, because you are going to go through a transformation, you're going to go through a metamorphosis. So that includes sort of working on things and working through internal feelings. I feel like you've got a lot of internal sort of shadows to work through and work with. Maybe now's a really good time to get like a little healthy therapy session in. Go, you know, not because you need it, but it's just like it's just nice to do that sometimes. Like, it's just nice to have that sort of preventative care, that healthcare. So yeah, I think now might be a good time for like journaling, doing that inner work, maybe doing some yoga if that's something you're into. But yeah, that's what I see for you, pile 1. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you felt drawn to any other piles, feel free to check those out now. It's always good if you know, are drawn to more than one, because then you get those extra messages that can just deepen your reading. And yeah, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays, because I will be posting another video for you on TìandTarot. Bye. Hello, my Hello, my pile 2s. Welcome to your reading. So this is your love card. So let's get into this one first. You have the Lupin. Oh, that's such positive energy. Yes. Okay. You are carefree, living your best life, honestly. Okay, let's get into your oracle card. You're joking. You have the Finch and Peach with romance. That's so funny. Okay, yeah. So I see a few things. So firstly, I think I see you being this carefree spirit, in the sense of, it's not that you're like really pro wanting a relationship and you really want one, and it's not that you're completely sworn off relationships. Like, you're not on either of those sort of parts of the scale. You're like right in the middle, where it's like you are carefree. You're a carefree, you know, spirit. So you're like, hey, what comes will come. When it happens, it will happen. Like, you're very mellow about things. And I feel like you genuinely go about enjoying your life, not really concerned with how you look to anybody or what people are sort of thinking about you. And so because of that, your natural sort of happiness and positive energy gets to shine through, which attracts exactly the people that you're supposed to meet, you know? And so in June, I kind of see you out and about, maybe at a concert or something, or maybe a festival, something like that. I see you out and about, living your best life, smiling, being happy, laughing. I'm definitely seeing like laughter, bubbliness, and just being really, really happy and merry. And this is sort of like drawing somebody in. Like, somebody sees you and is like, wow, that person looks amazing. They look like they have a lot of fun and they're really nice and friendly and approachable. And so I think that's bringing in romance for you. But also, it's not just romance in terms of relationships, because I definitely do see someone coming in for you in June. That's what I see for sure. Or if you're in a relationship already, just feeling a lot more of that love, feeling a lot more of that positivity, like having a smooth run through June. But it's also about like romanticizing your life. I see you genuinely valuing your experiences in June. Like, you have a lot of fun in June, and you really start to enjoy parts of your life, and it makes you feel a lot more positive about your experiences as well. Okay, so that's really good. That's lovely. So let's take a look at your general life for June. You have the Knight of Autumn in reverse. And let's also get your oracle card. Oh, you have the horse. That's so interesting, because it's like a knight and a horse, and a knight would usually be like riding a horse. I feel like these connect very well. I'm seeing two things for you in June in terms of your general life. So obviously the Knight of Autumn is reversed and the horse is upright. So I feel like these are separate energies. So even though these two would usually come together, these are like polar opposites, right? So I'm kind of seeing that you've got two people in your life, or two just sort of like conflicting ideas, or anything like that, but I'm kind of getting like two people, and one of them is kind of being very like aggressive and mean under the guise of being brutally honest, whereas somebody else in your life is really helpful and genuinely trustworthy and is there to sort of be a good part of the team. Like they're there to support you and help you and be a good friend. And I think you have the emotional intelligence to recognize these people when they crop up, or if they've already started to crop up. So that I'm not really seeing, obviously, like this with this card, it's sort of saying do not put up with that, regardless of whether or not you think you're gaining some sort of value by being their friend or some sort of valuable insights out of what they're saying. You're actually not, because they're causing you to doubt your self-worth and your value. And as I said, you've got that beautiful energy that you need to protect. So if someone is trying to rain on your parade, essentially, that's not something you have to put up with. And that is the key message of that card. And definitely I'm getting like take this sort of guidance and console of this other person. Someone is coming in to rescue you. It could be a pet. I'm kind of getting that it could be your pet. Just being like such a contrasting energy to this person that you're just like, yeah, no, cutting this person out, drawing a line in the sand. Also, I keep seeing these daisies on the bottom of this horse, where this horse is like riding, and it's making me think of pile 3, so maybe you might have messages over there. But yeah, so that's what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing more than that. I'm not seeing more detail. I'm just literally seeing that you don't have to put up with that, but someone is being low-key aggressive under the guise of like brutal honesty, but they're being mean and they're kind of raining on your parade. But then you've got this really trustworthy team member, the friend, whoever, to support you and sort of be such a contrasting energy to this person that it makes you realize that they're not the knight that they're saying they are. That's why they don't fit with this horse. Okay. So, let's get into your career for June. What's going on in pile 2's career for June? We have the Well in reverse. Okay. I feel like a secret's coming to light. And then for your oracle cards, basically these cards on the back have a different image on every single one. So maybe the image is also like an important message for you and you should pay attention to that. Kind of feeling this one. Yeah. Okay. So this is kind of giving well energy, because it's like this is like the crevice through the well, and then this is the energy radiating up from it. So whatever's coming to light is going to be freeing. So maybe there's like a colleague or something that you really you really don't like, or that has been causing mayhem for everybody, and finally all of the things they've been getting up to is coming to light, and it's just very, very freeing. So let's see. The possibilities ahead are limitless. We are not meant to write the story before we live it. This moment is your story. Sink into it. What is one tangible thing you can do to sink into this moment? It can be as simple as taking a sip of water, gazing at leaves blowing in the wind outside, or scribbling your feelings onto paper. That's really interesting, because so basically with the well, when you're in the well, you're trapped, there's nowhere for you to go, you're kind of stuck. But now it's like out of the well, and it is like possibilities are endless. The sky's the limit, because you're kind of getting tipped upside down. So I feel like definitely somebody at work who is being like a little bit sneaky or shady, or has been passing work off onto other people. It might not even be to do with you, it might just be something you've heard through the grapevine, but they're definitely going to get called out for it, that's for sure. But I feel like more opportunities are opening up for you. Now that I've read this card, I can now see, compared with the Well card, I can see what the message is coming through for you is actually that possibilities and opportunities are sort of opening themselves up to you. And I feel like you might have always felt like, oh, I don't know what's in the future for me. Will I ever get this job or this role or this raise? And this is saying, you don't get to know that, but in June, things were opening up to where you're starting to be like, hey, things won't always be the same, and there will always be opportunities for me to grow and to get that raise or that promotion or that job or that career. I feel like it's gonna, whatever this news is that's coming to light as well, because it could have something to do with the opportunities that are presented to you at work, you might have such sort of big emotions that come with that, where you're sort of almost overexcited, almost like overstimulated by this news. I feel like this is also saying remember to stay grounded and keep working hard, remember where you are. Like, don't get carried away with it and be like, great, this raise or promotion means, I don't have to work hard anymore. Instead, it's sort of saying, remember to stay grounded and keep working and keep going towards what you want. Obviously, be happy and celebrate, but don't let that mean that you kind of take your eye off the end goal or the ball, if that makes sense. Don't give up on your ambitions just because you've been, offered something really, really good, but not precisely what you want. If it's still not what you want, keep reaching, keep going for it. That's kind of the messages here. Okay. So, let's get into your side hustle. Digitals, okay. And let's get an oracle card for your side hustle predictions for June as well. So you have the Enchanter in reverse, deception and trickery. Okay. Okay, I feel like whatever sort of, because there's sort of deception or being misled as an under theme of each of these cards. So what I'm kind of getting is that when this sort of news comes to light about this other person who's kind of not been doing their work, passing it on to everyone else, treating everybody poorly, maybe that opens up opportunities for you. Maybe you're offered their position or a new position, or maybe people recognize, oh, you've actually been doing a lot of the work that you shouldn't have been doing. Maybe you might be good in this role or this position, and it's like a better one, or like one that has more perks. This affects your side hustle because you can invest more either time or money into it, which helps it progress as well. Because with digitals, it's really, really positive. It is saying, balance, moderation. So make sure, you're putting enough time into your side hustle to not neglect it, but also maintaining your immediate stream of income, which is your job, your main job, your career job. But it's also bringing really, really positive good news that things are going to be picking up and moving forward really swiftly. So once this sort of deception comes to light, you can start rebuilding the trust in your workplace, rebuilding those relationships. It makes you happier, it makes you have more of this energy, more time, maybe even more finances in order to invest that into your side hustle. So I see it really picking up and transforming as well. Finally, it starts to sprout something really beautiful, and it's almost like magic, like you're just manifesting a really positive outcome for your side hustle, with all of these additional things that's sort of going on in your life. As I said, cutting out toxic people, then toxic people are getting, addressed at your work, which is super positive. On top of that, you're living your best life and being happy, getting all of these experiences, you're celebrating, that's then bringing in your love life. So all of these things are sort of combining magically. Everything seems to be turning up right for you in June, and that's really improving your spirits, your mood, but also it's having an impact, like a sort of ripple or domino effect throughout your life. So it's also improving your career, your side hustle, your relationships with people. So that's what I'm seeing as this really amazing all-round glow up in your life. Okay, so let's move on to the second to last part of this reading, where I am going to answer 3 yes or no questions for you pertaining to the month of June. So it could be like, is this thing what was being spoken about, or is this going to happen in June? It has to be a yes or no question, and I'm going to answer 3 questions for you. I'll put the answers to 1, 2, and 3 right here. So you can ask those in your head now or out loud. So your answer to question 1 is you're going in the right direction. Lovely. Your answer to question 2 is no need to worry. And your answer to question 3 is let go. Yeah, it's that carefree energy coming through. Okay, so feel free to screenshot that if you want to, and you know, if that helps to keep you motivated through June. And now we'll move on to your final part of the reading. If there are any important angel numbers for you in the month of June, we'll pull that up now, and it might be indicating to you that things are turning up, you know. So we're also going to look up the message of the angel number 2. You have 87. So let's take a look at what that could be in my sort of makeshift grimoire. So, be open to other people's opinions. They may not be right, but there might be some gold nuggets of truth in there. Ooh, okay, so I was feeling like, I feel like that's some really good advice right there, but I do also feel like when it comes to that white stallion, that white horse that was coming up, I feel like this was a personal thing I was thinking, which is why I didn't say it, because it wasn't necessarily coming up in your reading, but now it kind of has. But sometimes people have a tendency, when there are good intentioned people that are trying to offer you advice, sometimes it feels like they are the ones that are trying to sort of like deceive you or be trickstery, because people naturally have like a mistrust to good intentioned people. It's really strange, but I don't know why. I've just read that somewhere, but it's really strange, but people do that. So you might be resistant to the fact that the person that represents this white horse is maybe letting you know that this other person isn't great, or is maybe acting as a stark contrast to this other person who's being really like disrespectful. You might be resistant to it initially, but this is kind of saying they have some wisdom to share. So pay attention to that. So yeah, that's what I see for you, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you were drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading on TìandTarot. Bye. Hello, my pile 3s. I'm really ready to read your reading. I don't know why, I just feel excited. So let's check out your reading. So you got the Daisy. So your first card is about your love life, and you have the Goldfinch. For some reason, I'm getting like a lot of purple energy. It touched this purple flower, so it was giving that. Okay, and let's get your oracle card as well. So yeah, the Goldfinch is in reverse. You also have starting over the Snake and Fern, and then I also felt this one, the Butterfly and Snowdrop with Hope. So let's check these out. Yeah, I feel like you may have just exited or a situationship or a first relationship or something like that. Like, you've just left something, a relationship, and it's left a bit of a sour taste in your mouth, because I feel like you had a lot of trust and openness and positivity going into it, and whoever this person was kind of took advantage of that, or took advantage of the fact that, you know, you were so open and free with your emotions and so positive, and kind of misled you, and maybe like was just a rubbish partner. And so you have left that situation, you've turned over a new leaf that is in the past. You know, it's kind of like that. So this represents like the Fool card. So it's like on the Fool card, you know, they're about to walk off this cliff. It's like you never know what's going to happen during this adventure. You could fall off the cliff, or you could end up somewhere else. And in this relationship, you fell off that cliff. Like, you were put in a situation where there was a trap or a pitfall or something. But now you've climbed out, or if you're this bird, you've flown out of that situation gracefully. And you are ready to start over. And this, you know, you might feel a little bit like, or have felt wobbly about this whole thing in the past. Maybe you've had to do some work to get through that, but I see that you've started to feel more hopeful. You've started to blossom and show more of an interest, and maybe experiencing love again and starting anew. And I definitely see that you've done all the right inner work. Like, you feel very refreshed and you feel like rejuvenated, like you're ready for brand new experiences because you've done all of that progress. Like, you've shed that old skin, you've shed that experience, like this snake that's now in your past, and you're ready to like move on, and you've still got that really positive openness, trust, and positivity, which is really nice, really positive to see. So you're definitely ready, to get out there and experience romance. So if you've been doubting that or wondering if you are, you definitely are. So that's the messages from these cards as well. And also there's a little ladybug on this card, which also signifies hope and happiness. So yeah, I see a lot of happiness coming for you. This is like, ladybugs might be your sort of spirit guide of the month, because I see that they are sort of indicating that you've done all this growth and you're finally in a really good positive spot, and you're going to be receiving a lot of happiness in your love life. Okay, so let's get into your general life. So you have the 10 of Autumn in reverse. And for your oracle card, oh, you got 2 again. Wait, no, it wasn't you that had 2, it was somebody else. Okay, so you have the butterfly in reverse, and then you've also got a horse as well. Okay, yeah, so your general life is also leaning into your love life a little bit. So the past is definitely behind you now, and there's sort of no going back, and I think you've established that and you understand that. And so because of that, you're transforming, you're glowing up, you're ready to move forward, you're having a full entire glow up in terms of every aspect of your life. Your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings, well, feelings are emotions, your lifestyle, everything is glowing up. You are completely transforming, shedding the past, turning over a new leaf, and you've got a lot of supportive people by your side that are sort of cheering you on, protecting you along the way, making sure that you are being guided in the right direction and that you have support around you as well. And with this ending, because this card, the 10 of Autumn, is in reverse, with the ending is also a signal to a brand new beginning. There is a brand new cycle starting over for you in your life. So this past relationship that you had may have been a really huge aspect of your life, to the point where everything you had was enmeshed with this person. Maybe your home, your finances, your lifestyle, everything was sort of interwoven with this person. And now that you've separated, that you've literally had to transform, because if you didn't, you would still be in a state of almost dependence and needing that person and not being able to move on. So transforming was the best thing for you, and you've managed it, you've capably done so, and now you're ready for the next stage, so that's going to completely change your life now. Is this starting this new chapter where you're no longer tied to this person, you're free now. It feels very, very positive. It may have felt like a loss or a sad situation, but you're definitely in a good place now, ready to move forward. If this, doesn't resonate with you, if maybe you've never had a relationship, then, maybe check out pile 2, because I was feeling a connection between this pile and pile 2. Or if you were drawn to any other piles in this reading, then feel free to check that out as well. Okay. Let's move on to the next aspect of your reading, which is your career. For June, how is pile 3's career changing? Okay, we've got the Mirror in reverse. And then for your oracle card, basically all the pictures on the back are different, so the picture might resonate with you as well. So I'm going to keep it on the picture side first and then flip it over. It's kind of like this person's looking in a mirror. They're looking at themselves. Well, actually, their eyes are shut. But there's some sort of guidance here. There is a flame of light. So initially, before I flip this over, what I'm kind of seeing for your career is that you're going to have to be doing a lot of self-reflection. Maybe something isn't fitting for you. Maybe the career you're in or the position you're in isn't fitting in terms of emotionally. Maybe it's just not for you. but you're going to be guided in the right direction. Okay, so you've got forgiveness becomes possible when we acknowledge our light and our shadows, allowing each to exist without judgment. Are you having a hard time forgiving yourself? Write down a possible piece of the story that you were not ready to face. Okay, hear me out. So I kind of feel like you may have what others would deem a perfect job or perfect life, and yet you feel unsatisfied, and that makes you feel guilty. You don't need to feel guilty for having your feelings, especially in terms of this situation. It's not wrong for you to feel unsatisfied by something just because others would feel satisfied by it, because you're not that person. So why should you compare? Why should they compare you, and why should you compare them? You aren't the same people. So even though someone else might really love the position you're in and love to have that and it's their dream, that doesn't mean that you need to feel trapped or tied to it if it's not for you. So I do see that the cards are kind of saying it might be worth, doing that sort of inner work, working with those shadows, figuring this out, doing that self-reflection that I mentioned to see what would satisfy you. What is it that you're kind of interested in, and what is it that isn't working in the place that you're in now, so that you can figure out maybe how to fix it or turn it around. Or if you don't want to fix it, what you could maybe do next, Also, it might be worth just having a nice little therapy session to work through those feelings as well, because you don't need to feel guilty for anything in this situation. And then once you sort of work through those feelings, I think it will start to become much more clear what it is you're interested in. I feel like you think you're running out of time, or that doors are closing on you the longer you stay in this one, which is not true. It's just not true. You can change anything at any point, and there's so much time. So, you're protected in this situation with this pentagram here. So, you don't need to worry about that at all. You've got all the keys that you need to unlock yourself from this situation, to open new doors, open new possibilities and opportunities for yourself. I can see that for you, definitely. It might be really hard for you to see what your future holds right now, but that's the whole point. You're not supposed to know the end of the story. You're just supposed to know the now and trust that it will work out. So have a lot more trust and faith in yourself. You know what you're doing, and you're guiding yourself in the right direction with this candle flame. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, and listen to it. Okay, so let's move on to your side hustle. What is happening for pile 3's side hustle in June? You have the Knight of Summer. Lovely. I feel like you're conquering a milestone in your side hustle in June, if you have a side hustle. And what is the Oracle card for pile 3's side hustle in June? Ooh. Oh, okay. So you have 2. So firstly, you have the Musician with inspiration and gratitude. And then you also have the Alchemist as well, with balance, invention, and destruction as well. Yeah, as I said, you've got the kind of keys to open all these locks and opportunities for you. And that also pertains to your side hustle. If because I'm seeing, because obviously summer, it represents cups, it represents love and emotions. I feel like your heart is in your side hustle. This is where you want to be. This is where you want to be at. This is what you want. And it's what you want to do kind of most of the time. It's kind of what you think about all the time. It's your muse, your inspiration. So I'm seeing that this can be your opportunities that you're opening. I think with your job that you have, this almost helps you have the keys to open up locks to get those opportunities for you. So obviously with your job, maybe you might be able to work to a place where you get a promotion that provides you with more spare time, maybe more finances to help keep your side hustle invested in. It helps to keep your side hustle flourishing and make sure that you're not neglecting it. So I'm seeing you definitely need that sort of balance, a work-life balance, so that you can have your life, your work, and your side hustle. But at the same time, this is where you feel your side hustle is where you feel really comfortable, because you can choose to stop doing one side hustle and do another. Like, it's something you completely invent and destruct. It's something you make on the spot. It's something you put together, and you feel a lot of pride in the things that you put together. And I see you hitting that milestone. I see you achieving something. Like, you're creating something that's really powerful and impressive, and it makes you really feel revived for this thing as well. It makes you feel more drawn into this side hustle. On top of that, this is the thing that you're grateful for. So as I said, you might have felt like you were being ungrateful because lots of people would love the job you have or the life you lead, and you were feeling unsatisfied, which made you feel guilty. But this is the thing that you feel more grateful for. Even though it might not be as successful as your career, this is the thing you enjoy. So I definitely see you feeling more invested in it, hitting a milestone in your side hustle, and investing more into it, so long as you manage to find that sort of work-life side hustle balance, so you can, keep earning the coin from your job and investing that back into your side hustle if that's what you want to do, or maybe start having some free time from your job. Maybe you get a promotion that gives you more free time so that you can invest in your side hustle on maybe the weekends or something like that, or after work. Okay, so let's get into your second half of this reading. Essentially, you can ask any yes or no question pertaining to the month of June and this reading. So you could ask, it has to be a yes or no question, but you could ask, like, were you talking about this thing? Were the cards talking about this thing for the month of June? Or is this going to happen in the month of June? And I'm going to answer 3 of your questions, and I'm going to put the answers to question 1 here, question 2 here, and question 3 here. So you can go ahead and think of those now or ask them out loud, whichever you prefer, and I will answer those for you as best I can. So your answer to question 1 is this is the sign. Oh, and you've got another pentacle, which I mentioned before, so you're definitely protected on this thing that you just asked about. Your answer to question 2 is go, the time is right. And your answer to question 3 is choose a new direction. That's kind of reminding me, I forgot to say with the Knight in your side hustle reading, and with the Alchemist, it was giving picking up something new, because you can destruct stuff and then also reinvent stuff. So I feel like you're dabbling in lots of different things, and you might try something new in your side hustle. But yeah, that might not have anything to do with your question. It just reminded me. Okay, so lastly, we are going to get into any important angel number for you for the month of June that may indicate, now's the time to do that inner work or change up your side hustle. So you got 94. I swear to God, this floorboard is crooked, because why does it always roll off the table when I roll it? Okay, now let's look up what the number 94 means in terms of angel numbers from my grimoire. So for 94, we have simple joys are best. Sit outside and watch the wildlife. Ooh, okay. That is nice, because it helps to keep you grounded. So this is, whenever you see the number 94, it's just telling you take a minute to go ground yourself and get out of that headspace, get out of those feelings, and just have a minute to yourself. Have a nice break from everything. Okay, so that is what I see for you, Pile 3. I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you felt drawn to any other piles, please feel free to check those out now. If not, I hope to see you here next week on Fridays for another reading on TìandTarot.